It is 6:32 p.m. on January 23rd, 2019, and I'll call this meeting to order. Lisa, will you please take the roll call?
Anne-Marie Moore.
Present.
Ben Owens.
Present.
Tori Anderson.
Present.
Joshua Judd.
Present.
Patty Contreras.
Present.
Great. I will now have Evan Grace lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Evan. We are now on item 1D, adoption of the agenda. Mrs. Anderson, I think you had a
President
change?
Noor, I would just like to pull off consent item 6D and move that to action items, please.
Okay, great. Any other changes? No? So motion?
Motion to approve with the change to consent item 6D.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Lisa, will you please call the roll? The vote?
Patty Contreras.
Aye.
Joshua Judd.
Aye.
Tori Anderson.
Yes.
Ben Owens.
Aye.
Anne-Marie Moore.
Yes. By your vote of 5-0, we have adopted the agenda with item 6D moved to the action items. Okay. We are now on call to the public, and I don't have any cards. You guys don't want to talk to us today. So we will move on to item 3, Superintendent's Report. Dr. Lopman.
Thank you, President Noor, members of the board. We'd like to extend our thanks to all the students who competed in last night's Maricopa Unified School District Spelling Bee. Bella Henning, 4th grader at Butterfield Elementary, placed 3rd this year. 2nd place went to Tyron Davis, 5th grader at Santa Rosa Elementary. And our new Spelling Bee champion is John Reese, 6th grader at Desert Wind Middle School. Let's hear it for him. It was intense. And if I had been competing, I would have been out in the first round on pickle. They changed it. A special thank you goes out to our judges, Mr. Jim Irving, Talitha Martin, and David Warren, and to the pronouncer who enunciated every syllable, except for in pickle, with precision, poise, and that is our very own governing board member, Tori Anderson. Thank you. Speaking of Mrs. Tori Anderson, we have more exciting news to share. Mrs. Anderson was recently appointed to the office of Secretary of the Executive Committee of the Arizona School Boards the Arizona School Boards Association. She is a proven leader, and her influence elevates MUSD's presence in the conversation about education in the state of Arizona. Thank you, Mrs. Anderson, for being such a wonderful advocate for MUSD and the students and families we serve. Let's hear from Mrs. Anderson. A big thank you goes out to the Helios Education Foundation. They donated $10,000 to the district to conduct research, fund scholarships, support teacher professional development, and other direct programs to elevate student success in the Maricopa Unified School District. The Helios Education Foundation is a great partner to MUSD, and this donation allows us to provide additional support in areas that impact students and teachers. Their generosity is greatly appreciated. Congratulations to Maricopa Wells and Desert Wind Middle Schools, who finished 1st and 2nd at the Arizona Future City competition for the 2nd year in a row. The competition was held last Saturday, and MUSD teams showed up early to compete and win. Yay! We've got more about that. This was a really this is a tremendous accomplishment. 21 schools competed in the Arizona Regional Future City competition. The 2 MUSD middle schools walked away with nearly half of the awards, winning 17 of the 38 awards at the entire competition. Desert Wind Middle School won the most awards of any other school, bringing home 11 awards, including second place at the including second place at the Arizona Future City competition. Onagawa, a team of 6th to 8th grade students, were the second place winners. Team members were 8th graders Bella Ebner, Connor Manning, and Keegan Walters. 7th graders Gabriella Fisher and Boston Hamrick, and 6th grader Lauren Roman. Way to go, Onagawa and Desert Wind Middle School. So who won first place, you ask? Well, that honor went to our very own Maricopa Wells team, Arbre de la Vie. Arbre de la Vie won first place in the competition, and they have earned an all-expense-paid trip to Washington, D.C. to compete at the national finals for the Future Cities competition. 7th graders Marley Pulaski, Allison Rice, Camille Troyer, and Anna Pumarino Arcos made up the team. Their engineering mentor, Joseph Rice, is a senior at Maricopa High School. Congratulations, Aubrey De La Vie and Maricopa Wells Middle School. Way to represent. Let's hear it for them. Last week, MUSD hosted a sharing rally as part of its collaborative strategic planning process. More than 75 stakeholders gathered to share school and department accomplishments, challenges, and goals, and to showcase their plans for the future. While most students are learning to drive a car in high school, our Air Force Junior ROTC cadets, Gabriela Perea, Brianna McVeigh, Jordan Roberson, Edgar Torres, Andrew Mays, and Denali Van Dam are learning to fly. The cadets recently practiced flying with Civil Air Patrol in a Cessna 182 aircraft from Chandler Airport over Maricopa High School en route to Ak-Chin Airport. That's one way to kind of to avoid the traffic
I
on
guess so.
347. So they figured it out. So congratulations to those cadets. More great news for our tech-savvy audience. A big thank you to our technology integration specialist, Christine Dickinson, who helped Maricopa Unified School District launch its new mobile app. And this just happened a few hours ago. So we're live and waiting for you to download. Just search Maricopa USD number 20 in your app store and download it today. That's another big deal.
Yes.
Okay. Upcoming events. This Saturday, January 26th, Maricopa Unified School District is hosting our annual job fair. We're screening candidates for both certified and support staff, and we are prepared to deliver letters of intent to secure the best and brightest for our students. So dust off that resume and come dressed to impress. We can't wait to meet you. I'd like to honor a special guest in our audience tonight. I'd like to recognize a young man who consistently goes above and beyond in the MUSD community. For his third year in a row, Maricopa High School senior Evan Grace led a toy and gift drive to aid Project Hope. This year, he focused his efforts on teens, and with the help of the community, collected Bath and Body Works gift sets, earbuds, art kits, skateboards, sleeping bags, hoodies, perfume and cologne, shaving kits, makeup, and more than 40 gift cards. Evan, and that's Evan Grace. Evan, thank you for your shining example of compassion and leadership. Please come on up so our board and I may congratulate you personally and get a chance for a picture, okay? finally, I would like to close my superintendent's report by recognizing our board. This is National School Board Recognition Month. And I'd like to take a moment to pay tribute to our governing board. School board members tackle a very difficult job and shoulder enormous responsibilities. These individuals are elected to establish the policies that provide the framework for our public schools. They provide vision and leadership in their roles as advocates and continue to stand up for public education and guard against anything that takes away from our children or undermines our public schools. Our district benefits from the tireless work and countless hours contributed by these local citizens who work without pay. Serving as a crucial link between the community and the classroom, our board is responsible for an annual budget of $50 million, 7,200 students, 720 employees, and 9 campuses. It's more important than ever that people support public education so that today's students are prepared to be productive citizens and leaders for tomorrow. Board members, I would like to recognize each of you individually, so when I call your names, step forward and let us honor you for your service to Maricopa Unified School District. President Anna Marie Knorr, 6 years of service. Vice President Ben Owens, brand new to the board, thank you for your service. Governing Board Member, Mr. Josh Judd, 2 years of service. Governing Board Member Tori Anderson, 8 years of service. And Governing Board Member Mrs. Patty Coutre, 8 years of service. Thank you for caring about our children and giving so much to our community. We support you, and your dedicated service is recognized and truly appreciated. Thank you again.
I want to see what's in here.
Is that it?
And I think that concludes my report.
Great, thank you, Dr. Lopman.
Oh, nice.
We will now move on to governing board member reports. We'll start with Mrs. Coutre.
Thank you, President Knorr. I haven't done a lot of things except be at the soccer games, so I tell you, winter soccer can be brutal outside. Between the cold temperatures and the rain, it's been a really interesting couple weeks. I did attend the sharing session that Superintendent Lopman shared earlier in her report, and I did want to let the board know I had to verify the date, February 27th meeting, that last meeting in February. Unfortunately, I will not be able to be here either because I will still be on a plane. I thought maybe I might be getting back early enough, but so for me, I know it seems kind of stupid, but I've only missed then 2 meetings in the last 8 years of service, so it is kind of like crazy for me. But I just want to let the board know that I won't be there. So,
Thank you. Mr. Judd?
Well, I had all kinds of statistics from future cities, but Dr. Lopman spoiled it for me and gave them all to you already. It was really impressive display. When we walked through and we were looking at the boards, I almost thought like they put Maricopa into a different category. Like we must be competing at a different level because the boards were just, they were amazing. And to so thoroughly dominate that competition, the whole crowd we really showed it was, and we had schools there from all over the state of Arizona, so we were showing the state of Arizona what Maricopa was capable of, and it was really incredible. I want to personally thank the teachers that spent so much of their personal time to have students come in and work on those boards. For 3 days over Christmas break, those teachers went into the school, opened up the school to give kids access to continue to work on those boards. They also obviously gave up all day Saturday. Saturday is an all-day event. So that's the time that the teachers at MUSD are giving up for your kids and their future and their education, and I just wanted to say thank you. You can clap for that. It was a great event. Also, I wanted to thank Ms. Tori Anderson for her superlative job last night. I can tell that the pressure
Can you
was on.
spell that?
Don't do that to me, because I would have been out before Dr. Lopeman in the first round. But she did an amazing job. And it is, I was thinking about it later, how high stress that is, because whoever wins goes on to nationals, and they do that at Washington, D.C. So I's literally have to be dotted and T's literally have to be crossed. So it was very well run. And thank you again to all the teachers and the staff that showed up in order to be judges for that event as well. But it was a good week. It was a good week. A lot of big wins for MUSD. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Judd. Mrs. Anderson?
So the spelling bee was great fun. I think that if you ever have a chance to come and watch that academic sport, it's quite competitive. So especially the last 10, 11 rounds was very exciting. So I always felt bad. I always want to go, it's okay, you can come back. But obviously the rules say I can't. But I enjoy doing it. This is like I want to say the 7th, 8th year that I've been able to have that honor to work with the students, and I just thoroughly enjoy it. So if you ever get a chance to go or attend, I do appreciate Dr. Lopeman being there. I know she put in long days, long hours, and to stay for that, I just appreciate that. And Josh, you were there, and I know you were there as a parent, but it's nice to see board members and district office take time to do that. So our students are rocking it. As you know, as Secretary of the Arizona School Board Association, I've kind of jumped in with both feet. So I have already attended a board meeting last weekend, actually 2 weekends ago, Saturday and a Sunday meeting, so that was interesting. And I leave Friday for Washington, D.C., and we will be on the Hill on Tuesday. We've already got appointments, so we'll be seeing our senators and our representatives, O'Halloran, Gosar, Sinema, and McSally. So I'm excited for that. Saturday and Sunday is the National Equity Symposium, so that's going to be, I'm looking forward to bring that information back because I know equity is on the top of our list. So that's exciting. And then February 9th, the K-12 Center is honoring all of our National Board Certified new teachers, and that's a dinner. It's on that Saturday, and so I'll be attending that. And because, of course, Maricopa has the most new National Board Certified teachers in the state, which is pretty awesome. So I'm excited to be a part of that. I'm excited to serve at the state level and look forward to bringing all that information back to MUSD. I think it's nice to have a voice at the table. So keep me posted. You know my number. So that's it, believe it or not.
Great. Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Owens?
Let's see here. On Monday, January 14th, I had the opportunity to take a quick walk through with Dr. Lopeman and Principal Winter over at the high school to see location of the where we talked about putting the portables, and that was very valuable for me, not having spent a lot of time at the high school. Let's see here, and then on last Thursday, I got to have lunch with my daughter and about 30 other kids over at Desert Wind that were recognized for having straight A's for the first semester, and that was really, really great to see all those kids and the pride that they took in getting those straight A's. And it's a lot of work, it's a lot of dedication on the students' part, on the teachers' part, and thank you, teachers, for that. And parents, thank you too for your dedication in helping to make your kids the best, and by doing that, you're helping MUSD be the best as well. So over the next couple months, I'm planning on getting out to see all of our facilities with Dr. Lopman and meeting all the principals. Being a new member, I've got a lot to learn, and I appreciate the board and Dr. Lopman for helping me along and answering some questions. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And we're happy to help you and always willing to help. So, okay, well, a couple things over the last 2 weeks. I got to attend the opening session at the legislature and hear the state of the state from Governor Ducey, which was exciting. A lot of talk about funding public education at a higher level, and then he released his budget last Friday, and that reflected that. And I actually got a message from our Senator Vince Leach that the governor's budget funds the high school, funds the school facilities boards for the high school that was approved for MHS. So that's important because getting approved by the school facilities board doesn't always mean you get money. They have to have the money in their account. And so that is part of the proposed budget to fund MHS per the school facilities board approval. So
That's great.
really good news.
Yeah, that is
yes,
good
as we
news.
go forward. And other than that, I'll be attending the Pima Butte President's Award grade celebration tomorrow morning, so I'm looking forward to that and echo all of the things Ben said about the teachers and parents and students and all the hard work they put in to get those achievements. So thank you, and that's all I have. We will move on to our information items work study, and we will start with the Rotary Students of the Month, Ms. Alma Farrell and Mr. Jim Irving. Thank you for being here.
I would like to tell you how proud I am of all the students and the teachers and everybody who's participated. It's just so awesome to see our kids do so well. You just don't know how proud that makes me. Makes me want to cry. And I'd like to also congratulate Tori. Tori was one of my students way back when, and I knew she had it in her, and it's just good to
I was a
see
little feisty.
that you have followed through with your spiciness. Congratulations.
Thank you, Alma.
Okay. I'd like to thank Dr. Lopman and your board for allowing the Rotary to recognize our students. I don't think our students are recognized enough. I remember years ago, you get two recognized when they finish school, and that's the salutatorian and the valedictorian, and I just think that they need to be recognized throughout the years because that's what inspires them to even do better. So thank you for allowing Rotary to do that. We'd like to tell you about the four-way test. This is the four-way test of the things that we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And is it beneficial to all concerned? I want to emphasize to the students who are being recognized tonight the importance of this four-way test, as you will be allowed to apply for a scholarship and write an essay on the four-way test. So please look at the four-way test, look it up, listen to what I've said, and do your very best to learn the four-way test so that you can write about it. I would like to thank the following people before I start. I would like to thank the MH student Briley Hoffman and her parents, Derek and Kathy. I'd like to thank the Desert Winds Middle School, Ariana Cox and her mother, Andrea Cox, for being here, and student Caitlin Kalick and her parents, Derek and Christy. I'd also like to thank the staff who works with these students. I'd like to thank Brian Winters, Danielle Byers, Thad Miller, Bernadette Rusinello, Wanda Lubig, June Salaya, Mrs. Hull, and Mr. Wagner for recognizing the students at your school. Thank you very much. So I'll start with the first student. I would like to recognize the Maricopa Wells student, Caitlin Kalick. Can you please come forward? Caitlin is a Maricopa Wells Middle School 8th grader, and Rotary is told that she's a straight A student and in Algebra and Language Arts honors classes. She's active in student council, band, and a member of the volleyball team. And she's also participated in City of Maricopa classes and activity. The Maricopa Wells Middle School staff reports that she's an excellent student, always to be trusted to make the right choice, with top-notch grades and behavior that Maricopa Wells strives for. They also report that she's a true leader in academics and behavior. She's the daughter of Derek and Christy. Thank you. Our next student is a student from Desert Winds Middle School, Ariana Cox. Can you come forward, please? Rotary's told us she's a great citizen and honor student. She's a member of the National Junior Honor Society, and she's enrolled in honors classes, is a member of the volleyball and basketball teams, and participates in various after-school clubs. Rotary is told that she has a range of skills and talents and strives for achievement in everything from academics excellence to fantastic performance and leadership and other activities that she participates in. And she's the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Cox. Congratulations. And next is Briley Hoffman. If you could come forward, please. Briley is a senior at Maricopa High School, and she was nominated by Mrs. Rusinello. Briley is an honors English, geometry, and biology student with a 4.243 GPA. She's a member of the National Honor Society, where she serves its president, where she has organized the largest group of National Honor Society members in the existence of NHS on the Maricopa campus. Briley has accomplished this with grace, honor, and timeliness that is astounding. It is reported that she has brought everything online and given everyone the ability to connect and track their own information. Her thoughtfulness, attention to detail, and zeal has often resulted in her completing work that would have taken other people twice as long to complete. She has met every challenge with joy, responsibility, and excellence. She's a member of the Maricopa High School Orchestra, where she plays the violin, and is a member of the varsity girls golf team. She's the daughter of Brian and Terrell Hoffman. Congratulations. That's it.
Pictures.
Okay, let's get
Oh, pictures. Yeah, let's get some pictures. What? Yeah. Now that the audience is gone, I was remiss in announcing that our Vice Mayor, Mr. Henry Wade, is here with us today, and we're thankful for him being here. We appreciate your support of the district. So we will move on to information item 5B, Student Activities Monthly Report for the month ending November 30th, 2018. I don't know.
Just out of
Dr. Virgil?
curiosity, why is this, in the past, this has always been on the consent agenda. Is there a reason why this item is now on as a work study?
That's a great question.
Okay.
I actually like seeing it every once in a while because it is buried in the consent. So it's nice to see it, especially the reconciliation where some of the items had to be credited because stuff was in the wrong place. So it's nice to see at the bottom the adjustments that have been made to make sure the funds are in the right place. So I appreciate that.
Dr. Virgil is here, and he's able to answer any questions, if you have any.
I don't have any questions,
Work
just
study.
thank you for putting the money in the right place.
Great.
That was easy.
Yeah. We will move on to our consent agenda, minus 6D. Do I have a motion?
I motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of item 6D.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Lisa, will you please call for the vote?
Patty Cottrell.
Aye.
Joshua Jones.
Aye.
Tori Anderson.
Yes.
Ben Owens.
Aye.
Emily Moore.
Yes. Thank you. By your vote of 5-0, we have approved the consent agenda. We will now consider item 6D as our first action item.
So President Noor, I just asked for this to be pulled off in the third bullet. Due to our policy, it says there will be certified chaperones. It needs to be changed to 1 chaperone per 10 students as per our policy. So because I know the other Desert Wind trip, which is blended learning, had the correct number. So I just wanted to correct that before we approve it. That's my only change. I want to make sure there's enough chaperones.
Yes, definitely, and that we're adhering to policy.
Yes,
Important.
policy is
Yes.
important. That's my only change.
So
can
we approve it with that change if you make that motion?
If I make that motion, so motion to approve the Desert Wind 8th grade trip to Six Flags Magic Mountain on May 17th to May 18th, with the change in the third bullet that it's 1 certified chaperone per 10 students, as per our MUSD policy.
We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Lisa, will you please call for the vote?
Patty Cottrell.
Aye.
Joshua Jones.
Aye.
Tori Anderson.
Yes.
Ben Owens.
Aye.
Emily Moore.
Yes. By your vote of 5-0, we have approved the Desert Wind travel with 10 chaperones per student. 10 students per chaperone. 10 chaperones per student.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that would be good.
Yeah. Very safe.
It's a long trip.
We will now move on to 7A, discussion and possible approval of the personnel schedule. Mr. Beckett.
Thank you, President Noor, members of the governing board, Dr. Lotman. I've been on some of those trips that would have been nice to have 10 chaperones per student. You have the personnel schedule in front of you tonight. I'll answer any questions that you may have.
I just had one. I see a substitute bus driver and bus driver going out. Are those positions have already been replaced, or are we working short?
And Member Judd, I'm going to be honest with you, we've had some transition going in our transportation department, and I don't know exactly where we are with incoming and outgoing. But again, we are constantly recruiting. We're highly optimistic this Saturday we'll get some additional folks
I know it's
in the
been
door.
very difficult holding on to them, but it's a concern. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I apologize, I don't have that answer.
If there's no other questions, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the HR schedule.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Lisa will please call for the vote.
Patty Cottrell.
Aye.
Joshua Judd.
Aye.
Tori Anderson.
Yes.
Ben Owens.
Aye.
Anne Marie Moore.
Yes. By a vote of 5-0, we have approved the personnel schedule.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 7B, discussion and possible approval of a fee schedule for the MUSD preschool program. Dr. Lopman.
In your board packet, you received a fact sheet and fee schedule. And you can see there that we have very competitive pricing that is based on 10 months of preschool. I believe it's 8:30 to 3:30, so that's a full day. And then we've added options or packages for childcare, either wraparound or before or after school. So that childcare package is unique to preschool. That pricing package is unique to the preschool. The before and after school care that we currently have through Copa Kids, that's separate. That's a separate package. So this is unique to the preschool.
I had some questions.
Okay, great.
Was there a reason, either based on law or based on logistics, that we're restricting this only to Maricopa residents?
That is a great question. I'm glad that you brought it up because we removed that line.
Okay,
That was an oversight, and we're not restricting it.
awesome. Second question was, are there any options for parents with multiple students in the district? I think that might be an attractive thing. It can be difficult to meet the cost, and maybe we give a break that have parents that have multiples.
So you're talking like if you got two kids that are
Right.
in preschool?
Exactly.
Gotcha.
You need the break.
Right, a
Yes.
price break would be just one of the things that you would
I
deserve.
had 3 in there at once, and it's
Yeah.
nice. I believe
Yikes.
I believe for Copa Care, I want to say at a time there
Yeah, there
was a
is.
discount for multiples. So I think it might be a good idea
That
to
would be
put a
good.
blurb in there in terms of parents that have multiple children.
It's something that we will consider.
Okay.
This pricing is highly competitive
Okay.
with everything else that's offered in town, and when you consider the duration of the daily program and that we are providing certified teachers, and when you compare that kind of value with that price, it's pretty unbeatable. That does not mean that we aren't willing to consider other types of packages, but we know with this pricing model, this is what makes us sustainable.
Okay.
So at our introductory level, we're here, and then we'll consider those other options.
I have a
Thank you.
question. Sorry, Mr. Judge.
Okay.
When we first talked about this at the last regular board meeting, we talked about the fact that childcare would be available at both locations, and now this is only going to be available at one location. So if they need childcare, they're going to have to go to Santa Rosa. They don't have the choice of which one, correct?
Childcare has never been an option for both locations, so I apologize if that was a misunderstanding. It is only going to be available at Santa Rosa at this beginning stage, mostly because there's some licensing requirements that are, just we have to address those. So we're starting with childcare available at Santa Rosa only. If you need childcare, we encourage our families to choose Santa Rosa because we're not restricted by neighborhood. There isn't
Right.
an attendance boundary for preschool. So if a family needs the childcare, they'll be encouraged to go to Santa Rosa.
Okay.
And we aren't transporting our preschool students at this time. We're not transporting them for this program at all. So it's going to be entirely based on personal transportation.
So Copa Kids will also be at Santa Rosa then?
Yes, Copa
Okay.
Kids is moving from Butterfield to Santa Rosa.
Okay, so if parents have kids in both levels and they need the childcare, they'll have to apply for, so let's say they have a first grader or a second grader, they're going to need after-school care and a preschooler, and they're out of boundaries. So are they going to get some sort of preference or be able to have that exemption, that boundary exemption for their older child if they're going to have a preschool student there?
If they want both students to go to Santa Rosa, and for that student in kindergarten through fifth grade, we haven't really considered whether the boundary exception will be attached to a preschool student.
No, I know the boundary exception won't be attached to the preschool student, but if they're going to send both students to the same school because they need the after-school care, I just want to make sure that, that they'll be able to have that. So if they're going to pay for their one student, that their other student will get that exception to go. Their regular school student, like their...
Well, for the boundary exception for the kindergarten through fifth
Yeah.
grader, it would be based on availability, based on space, because I think that's where it starts for boundary exceptions anyway. And Santa Rosa has space.
Okay.
So I would imagine we would be able to make those accommodations.
And then I saw on the little pricing sheet that, so the lunches are going to be provided by us only if they pay. If not, the family has to bring the lunch?
We are a DES certified or licensed facility, and so if a student receives free or reduced lunch, it would apply there too, but they have to go through all of that process.
But non-DS, so so on top of the tuition, if I wanted my child to have lunch, I'd have to pay for the additional lunch?
Or pack a lunch.
Or pack a lunch,
They
okay.
can pack a lunch from home,
Okay.
a Lunchable.
Is this what was going out, Dr. Lubin? Because it does still say on there, any child 3 to 5 years old in the Maricopa community.
These,
Or is this just for us?
That's draft marketing
Okay.
materials. We have not we made 6 copies of
Okay,
those.
say no more.
So do not put them on windshields and stuff like that.
Don't snap, don't take
They
a
are-
picture.
yeah, right. So those are draft copies so
Okay.
that you can see the quality of materials that will be promoting our program.
Awesome.
Dr. Littman, I do have a couple clarifying questions, I think. And I apologize because I know we got this information today, so I didn't have enough time to email you ahead of time. Is there a half-day option for parents that want to just pay half-day? Just throwing it out
Our
there.
program is a full-day program.
Okay, but there's no half-day
There isn't a
options?
half-day
Okay.
option at this
Okay.
launching point.
Okay. And then we currently have our needs-based preschool. That will continue for those students that are academically challenged and need to have that boost. Because I mean, it's about $27 a day for the cheapest one, which is still, I think, high, especially knowing they have to pay for lunches. So I don't know if there's some wiggle room there, but, and I'm not sure what the other preschools around town. I know we've got 2 new ones that are opening up, so I would imagine it's comparable. I trust you that you guys have done your research. But for a family who they need the academic boost, but they may not be able to afford, the $500 a month, basically.
In terms of
I'm
pricing, after
concerned.
checking around, what we're offering here, no one else is offering. That having the certified staff
Right.
there gives
6
us the
hours.
ability to be able to, if needed to, charge a little more, but even still, it's fairly comparable. But what we'd be offering is nowhere else in Maricopa.
The price is highly competitive, and as Mr. Judd said, the certified teachers
That's rare to find out.
are, that is a distinguishing feature to our program, and I know that that's what Maricopa moms are looking for. And
Right.
when they're calling around, they want to know what kind of quality academic program their child is going to be, where they're going to be spending their time for 7 hours a day or more,
Right.
6 to 6 potentially. But our academic program is truly going to be the leader in the city.
I remember the reason that myself and my wife used to bring the kids up to Chandler was because it was the only place that it existed. It wasn't here. So we had to, it was on the way to my wife's work, so it was convenient, but we would have to go outside the city. So that's a great thing for young working parents to have that ability to have it here.
So I just want to clarify, my biggest concern is that we are not going to meet the needs of those students who are less fortunate and whose parents cannot pay the $550 a month. So I just want to make sure that either we've got scholarships, because a lot of times those students need the extra boost.
Absolutely.
And those parents need the extra boost. So I just want to make sure that we are meeting all of the needs of our diverse population and that we are equitable in what we're offering. I just want to make sure that we're not pricing ourselves out where we're only going to get a homogeneous population. I just want to make sure we're covering that.
We are.
Okay.
With the DES certification that we're pursuing, families have to go through that process
Right.
to be granted an authorization
Okay.
number. And based on that evaluation of their personal, their personal family, household situation, just like it's kind of the same process for the lunch.
Correct.
Different levels emerge as co-pays.
Okay.
And so the subsidy covers a piece of it, and then the family covers a piece of it. But that's all based
Okay.
on an individual analysis and how it falls on a kind of like a co-pay schedule.
Right.
So they are responsible for the difference in the subsidy and
Correct.
the co-pay, but, the difference in the subsidy and our
And what they
fee,
pay, right.
our very valuable, highly competitive fee. So that we are making
Okay.
allowances.
That's all I
for
wanted to
that.
make sure that
And I
we cover
also,
that.
this is our introductory, model here that we have. When Mrs. Roden talked with you about the program a couple weeks
Mm-hmm.
ago, some of the next steps included grant opportunities,
Right.
and that would include scholarships. So we are very cognizant of the wide range of customer that we want to serve, and we will make allowances
Perfect.
to be able to do that.
Perfect. That's what you answered my questions, so I'm excited. I'm
Okay.
excited for our school.
Any other questions?
I had one. Dr. Littman, are you aware of any district grants for us starting up something like this? Does that exist? Or someone look into if any federal level grants for a school district starting a preschool? Because I could imagine that something like that might exist. That would be a good idea for the federal government to fund. Has anyone looked into that?
Well, Head Start is more of a federal program, and there are grant monies available for sure.
Okay.
And as Mrs. Roden said, we're going to continue to pursue those opportunities to fund our program to ensure its sustainability.
How about individual grants or any kind of opportunities for parents that can apply for something individually in order to be able to pay?
Beyond this, the
DES?
If they were not able to, beyond that,
DES.
or anything, anything that they could apply for, or maybe including information on whatever we pass out in terms of a way to be able to meet that cost.
I do not have an answer for you tonight, but we can include that in our exploration
Okay.
going forward.
Okay.
Are you talking about kind of the family that falls in between?
Right,
Okay.
or just any information that anyone that was not able to meet this cost, different things that they could apply for and include it as a part of what we pass out to the community.
Even the DES information. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. We'll do it.
Great questions. Any others?
All my questions have been answered.
Perfect.
So do you need a motion to approve this tonight?
Yes.
Okay. So I would like to make a motion to approve the proposed fee schedule for the MUSD preschool program.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Lisa, please call for the vote.
Patty Cottrell,
Aye.
Joshua Judd,
Aye.
Tori Anderson,
Yes.
Ben Owens,
Aye.
Anne Marie Moore,
Yes. By a vote of 5-0, we have approved the fee schedule for the MUSD preschool program. Item 7C, discussion and possible approval for the superintendent to work with consultants on planning for a potential bond election. Dr. Loatman, did you want to lead this?
Sure. I wanted to offer the board an opportunity to formally approve any steps that we take that I initiate now based on our capital plan conversation that we had a week ago. We need to put some formality around the next set of questions that I can engage in before we come back to the board with more formalized decisions. There's a lot of work that has to go on before you get to the decision-making phase, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, or ahead of your agenda, but allowing us to be transparent about this I know is critical for us and for our community, so I wanted to make it a public opportunity.
Any questions or comments?
I have a quick comment. I'm grateful that we're starting this conversation early and that we are engaging the community. And I know those conversations have been very robust and very informative. So I'm glad that we have started the conversation, and I think it's great.
I had one question. We're voting on this tonight. Is there a cost to the consultant, for the consultant?
Some of them there will be, not all of them. Some of the fees are associated with the actual sale of bonds, and that's how those fees are paid. But other consultants will require a fee.
So will that come back to the board then to approve that fee then?
Right. That's, I don't want to give a blank check to say, yeah, absolutely, consult all you want with as many people as you want to. We need to be able to see, in the ballpark in terms of what that's going to run us.
You will definitely be able to see those consulting fees and the investment that we'll be making in that expertise. So tonight just says, start emailing these people back. Or returning the phone calls. It formalizes my opportunity to have conversations with them without you having to call for an election. Because we're not there yet. We haven't presented you all of the information yet. So.
Okay, it's just the way that it's worded. It says discussion and possible approval of the superintendent to work with consultants on planning for a potential bond election. And I don't know if that green lights, our payment to specific consultants. We would need to see that.
No, it doesn't. I don't think it does.
Okay.
I would adhere to our standard of transparency.
Okay.
And I will also demonstrate the value in the expertise that we need to prepare you and equip you with the information so that you can decide.
Right. And I totally understand and agree with the fact that, going through a process like this, we would want that. But in the way that this is being worded and with no value attached to it, I just wanted to make sure on that.
Yeah, thank you for the clarification. And Dr. Loatman, our superintendent, through our policies, has the ability below a certain level to contract with consultants per our policies. I think, and she's always very open, even when she does it and it's below the level that she has to get our approval, she lets us know, but certainly if it's above the level that requires board action, it will certainly be brought to the board. So.
Thank you.
Well, I want to jump in there because I know that we've had the capital meetings, the community meetings. And I know that I just want to let Board Member Judd know that those meetings, the information has gone out to the public because people know that we're talking about our capital improvement. So I do know that Dr. Loatman has been inundated with people who are saying, hey, we're interested, we're interested, we're interested. She can't call them back because that's why this is on the agenda, because she needs our approval to even call them back. So
I just
that's
wanted
really
to
all this
clarify
is.
with the wording that we were right.
Yes.
I think Dr. Loatman gets one.
Yes. It's not a blank check. Yes.
Darn it.
Unfortunately. We'd all like one of those. Yeah. Any other questions?
Barring any no more discussion, I would like to motion that we approve item 7C.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Lisa, would you please call for the vote?
Patty Cottrell.
Aye.
Joshua Judd.
Aye.
Tori Anderson.
Yes.
Ben Owens.
Aye.
Anne Marie Moore.
Yes. Thank you. By your vote of 5-0, we have approved our superintendent to work with consultants on planning a potential bond election. Item 7D, discussion and possible approval for the superintendent to work with real estate professionals to explore potential sale of district-owned land. So, go ahead.
Thank you, President Noor. Basically, along those same lines, we have an array of possible scenarios to consider for the next 5, 10, 15 years. And we want to make sure that we are exploring every possible option regarding the current district-owned property and also the other potential, the other layers of land development that are out here that may not involve a sale, but, you know, certainly a donation or, you know, but this one is specifically to formally have your authorization and transparent, you know, gesture towards working with a real estate professional on the potential, the possibility of selling district-owned land.
I think that's a good thing to start. I thought we had already started that before. But for me, I would like to have a list of what land we do own. I know that a lot of the developers that had designated certain parcels of their land to be for schools also put a little caveat on it that if you didn't build within a certain time, that the land went back to the development. And so I know that we've lost several pieces of land that way as well. So I would like to know, just, you know, for my information, what land we have out there and what land you're looking at talking to a real estate agent about.
I second that request.
I'll third that.
I anticipated that. So that's the information that we're gathering, and it is, you know, so thank you for validating that investigation.
And I just want to explain that in my conversations with Dr. Loatman, it's not like there's a list sitting in district office that we could just provide you right now.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist, based on what Mrs. Cottrell said about some lands being donated, but the caveat, and we have to look at those timelines and figure out if they're still under the ownership of the district or if they've been given back to the prior owners. And it's quite a process that involves several different jurisdictions and government agencies. So, but definitely working to get that list finalized, and we'll definitely get that information to the board when we have it.
So we'll accelerate it, and I look forward to beginning that tomorrow, first thing, now that we got the go-ahead, if you vote yes.
Well, if there's no other discussion, I'd like to motion to approve item 7D.
I'll second.
I have a motion and second. Lisa?
Patty Cottrell.
Aye.
Joshua Judd.
Aye.
Tori Anderson.
Yes.
Ben Owens.
Aye.
Anne Marie Moore.
Yes. Thank you. By your vote of 5-0, we have approved the superintendent to work with real estate professionals to explore sale of district-owned land. Okay. We are now on item 7E. Approved to adjourn to executive session pursuant to ARS 38-43103A1, superintendent's evaluation.
Motion to approve to adjourn to executive session pursuant to ARS 38-431.03A, superintendent evaluation for the discussion and consideration of the superintendent's evaluation.
I'll second.
I have a motion and second. Lisa?
Patty Cottrell.
Aye.
Joshua Judd.
Aye.
Tori Anderson.
Yes.
Ben Owens.
Aye.
Anne Marie Moore.
Yes. Thank you. By your vote of 5-0, we have now approved to adjourn to executive session. It is 7:33 p.m.
We taking this?
I am. There's documentation on there.
Here.
Yeah.
It's a come.
This right here.
It is, I know. Super cool.
Oh, Ben. Here, yeah, yeah.
Do the cable dance?
Free game entry. Woo-hoo. Oh.
Yeah.
So these are the minutes that we just approved. We need the results with you. Yes.
You're not going to hang around?
Start, end.
And that's you're most welcome. Have a good night. Yeah, I think they're usually pretty good on battery life when we bring it back. No, it's not more than like an hour and a half. Really?
I'm gonna take my chance. Oh. You what? I'm gonna take my chances.
Thank you, Lisa.
I know, that's where I'm at right now.
The dance to the back room with all our leader.
There we go.
This is still showing full battery, so I'm not.